Hello, in this lesson we're going to review complementary, supplementary, and vertical angles. Each of the following diagrams below demonstrates one of these angle relationships: adjacent, complementary, supplementary, or vertical angles. What is the relationship for angle A and angle B in each diagram? So number one, is this adjacent, supplementary, or vertical? Angle A and angle B are adjacent to each other, which means they're next to each other. They are not complementary or supplementary. In order to be supplementary, we need a straight line. We need two angles that add up to 180 degrees, or a straight line. And we also, in complementary, we need a 90-degree angle. Vertical angles are across the vertex from each other. So let's look, please, at number 2. Are angle A and angle B adjacent, complementary, supplementary, or vertical? These two angles are vertical. They're across the vertex from each other. So the vertex is this point here, and they're across the vertex. It helps me to kind of look at two V's pointing to each other to help. They are congruent, and the symbol is used. They're congruent, which means they're exactly the same measurement. Let's look at number 3. Relationship is complementary, although it would be very helpful if we would have seen the 90-degree angle symbol to verify that. This is a complementary relationship because there's a 90-degree angle. Let's look at our final relationship. Are A and B complementary, supplementary, or vertical? This is a supplementary relationship. These two angles are indeed adjacent. They're next to each other, as are the angles in relationship 3. However, these two are on a straight line which measures 180 degrees. So together they make 180 degrees. Supplementary angles are a pair of angles that add up to 180 degrees. Let's move forward. Number 5, angle C and angle D are supplementary. If the measurement of angle C is 28 degrees, what is the measure of angle D? Supplementary angles are 180 degrees, therefore we need to take 180 degrees and subtract 28 degrees. Don't forget to borrow and carry your 1. So we're going to have 152, so the measurement is 152 degrees. For number 6, there was missing information. So angle 2 is vertical to angle 4 and measures 77 degrees. What is the measure of angle 4? Angle 4 would have to also measure 77 degrees because vertical angles are congruent, which means equal to each other and across the vertex from one another. Number 7, angle W measures 37 degrees. What's the measure of its complement? When they ask what's the measure of its complement, that means that these two angles are complementary, and that equals two angles that equal 90 degrees. So we have to take 90 degrees minus 37. Again, we want to borrow, and so we have 53 degrees. We can always check by adding those together, making sure they add up to 90 degrees. Continuing, based on the relationship demonstrated in each diagram, write and solve an equation to find the value of x. Then find the measurement of the unknown angle or angles shown. So it says we need to write an equation. It asks us to find the unknown measure. In this case, it's 5x. What equation would help us find the measurement of the unknown angle? Well, there are actually two. So 5x plus 35, that should be a 35, is going to help us find the measurement of angle x. These are complementary, two angles that add up to 90 degrees. So if you know that, you could also write this equation. You could put angle 1, which is our unknown angle, plus 35 equals 90 degrees, and find it this way, but I prefer you do the first equation. So now we're going to solve. We're going to take away 35 from both sides, eliminating 35 on this side, and we're left with 5x equals 55. Now we're going to divide by 5 on both sides, so x equals 11. In order to find out the unknown angle measurement, we would take 5 times 11, and that's going to be 55 degrees. And we could have come at this a different way, but since it also wanted us to solve for x, that was also important. Let's now go to number 9. Based on the relationship that we see between these two angles, what equation could we write to find the value of x? Well, both of these angles are on a straight line. So we could add up these angles, and they must equal 180 degrees. And it doesn't matter which angle you start with. If you started with 3x plus 25 plus 2x, it is perfectly fine. But they have to equal 180 degrees. So now we want to gather up our like terms. 2x and 3x are like terms. So we're going to add them together to get 5x plus 25 equals 180 degrees. What's our first solving step? We have to subtract 25. We always get rid of the constant first, and then we work on the coefficient. 155, 155. Now we're going to divide by 5 on both sides. And the answer is x equals 31. So x equals 31. What is the measurement of this angle, this first angle, 3x plus 25? The measurement of that angle is 118 degrees. I personally like to mark my drawing. I think it's helpful. It goes on to say the measurement of angle 2x is. There are a couple ways we can find this. Let's start by taking 2, replacing it with our 31, and that answer would be 62, or you could have taken 180 minus 118, and you would have also gotten 62. But I like to do both to double check. So let's do our final problem. Let's continue. Looking at this relationship, this angle goes here and this angle's here. What equation could we set up in order to find the value of P? These two angles are vertical and therefore equal one another. So they must be set equal to one another. What's the first solving step in order to find out P? This is a situation where we have variables on both sides. So we need to eliminate one of the variables, one of the terms with variables. In this case, we're going to go after the weaker one, and because that would leave this number, and otherwise if we eliminated 12, we'd have nothing on the other side. So we have 28. It's positive, so I'm just going to bring it down as 28. And on the other side, we have 7p. The next solving step would be to divide by 7, and 4 equals P. So we're going to change this X to P, and the answer is 4. The next question says the measurement of angle ABC, so A to B to C, and I like to arc it so I know what we're talking about, and the measurement of D to B to E, D to B to E, so they're talking about these two angles, is. There are two ways I would check this. I would take 5P plus 28. We could also use 12P, and because they should be equal to one another, we'd like for them both to have the same answer. So we're going to replace P with 4 on both of these equations. This particular one would take 5 times 4 plus 28. That would be 20 plus 28, which is 48. And here we'd take 12 times 4. And 12 times 4 is indeed 48. So now we've kind of proved that we understand and we did everything correctly if these two angles equal one another as they should. The last question says the measurement of angle ABE, A to B to E. So again, I'm going to arc that. We're talking about the obtuse angle. And the measurement of C to B to D, C to B to D, which is its vertical angle, so they're both congruent, is what? Well, in order to find that, we have to acknowledge that there is a supplementary relationship right here. So we know that this angle is 48 degrees. So we're going to take 180 degrees minus 48 degrees. Again, be careful when you're borrowing if you're not going to use your calculator. And we should get 132 degrees. So this is 132 degrees. Thank you for listening, and please take notes. Anything that you need to talk about, we'll be happy to go over in class when I see you next time. Bye-bye.